everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is very special. We're going to be talking about long distance relationships. Towards the end of this video, I actually included a clip of me being in a call with my husband. I actually asked for his help on this one. We played a Q&A game, which is like those are questions that are often asked from couples who have been successful with their long distance relationship. So if you do want to skip this whole video and get to that Q&A portion, you may go ahead, but I highly suggest that you listen to the things that I have discussed here because I think they are quite helpful. If you haven't already, I would like to request you to please help me get to my 1,000 subscribers by clicking the subscribe button down below. Thank you so much and enjoy. So first and foremost, let's define a long distance relationship. What's a long distance relationship? A quick Google search would tell you that a long distance relationship is actually a romantic relationship between two people who are living far apart from each other. Therefore, they cannot see each other physically frequently. What would make me be in a good position to discuss this topic? Because I have been in a long distance relationship with my husband for almost a decade. So, and also before that, I've had two long distance relationship that spanned like a year each. Sasabihin ko na agad directly, like long distance relationships are not for the faint of heart. Kasi like this is not, how do I say this? You're not only battling kasi with like the distance. You're also battling with your own insecurity. It takes a lot of work. It takes more effort actually than like a regular relationship. And to start off, I would like to discuss what I think are the difficulties of being in a long distance relationship. So the first one for me, would be the lack of physical contact. What do I mean by lack of physical contact? You know how you get to do a couple things like dine out, mag-HHWW sa park, or mag-movies together. Those are things that you can't do when you're in a long distance relationship. And as much as parang it's okay lang even if we don't do that, those activities actually help you get to know your partner more. It helps you observe your partner and at the same time see if you could actually adjust to their attitudes, Pero when you're in a long distance relationship, you really can't do that. The most you would get is, ayan, video call, ganyan. That being said, I am very grateful for all these apps that we have right now na nag-aallow sa atin to get in touch with our loved ones. So please take good advantage of all these apps. So aside from that, you know how when you're feeling sad or vulnerable or you just want a comforting hug, we people in a long distance relationship don't get to have that. Sasabihin ko na sa inyo, there are times, and I won't deny this, there are times that I would really want to cry and I just want my husband to hold me or just, comfort me. Pero hindi nangyayari, hindi kaya. So tendency is I just need to be strong and I just need to remind myself that I need to deal with this by myself, because at that moment my husband is busy focusing on his work or is in a meeting or doing something. So that's number one. Number two would be, for me time difference. A lot of us Filipinas kasi, we have relationships with people who are in the Western countries, so particularly the United States. So the thing is that with time difference, normally it's like their morning is our evening, and then our morning is their evening. So it makes it difficult for you to communicate, 'di ba? Like there are times even with me, my time difference with my husband is just 5 hours. Pero sometimes like he's in the mood to talk because he came from work, pero it's too late for me so I'm already sleeping. Sometimes naman like in the morning I'd like to talk to him and discuss something with him, but I really couldn't because he's also sleeping. So just those things make it difficult for you to communicate. Um, Number three difficulty for me is lifestyle. Um, how do I say this? Okay, so I'll give myself as an example. I'm married to a workaholic. Okay, and yes, babe, I know you're watching this, so yes, you are a workaholic. You don't have a choice. You would have to admit to that. Anyway, so like since my husband's a workaholic, there are times that he would stay longer in the office, and I'm in the mood to be playful with him or to just make him kulit or talk to him or pester him or something, maglambing sa kanya, but I can't because like he's a hard worker, he's a workaholic, so tendency is that he's gonna be super busy in the office. And ako, etong makulit na asawa, makulit na wife who would like just wanted to have fun and like chit chat with him, but I couldn't. Of course, in all these difficulties, there's like ways to work around it. But again, it takes so much effort. Okay. Um, it's not, how do I say this? Um, I think like from the get-go, you have to identify kung ano yung mga possible na challenges na maharap nyo as a couple in an LDR relationship. So, I guess we go to, so why, how, how does yours work? What have you done to make it work? Um, Number one thing that I did is that you have to make sure that there's a relationship. Okay. Um, Whether we like it or not, there's a tendency for us to, especially yung mga nag-OFW, yung boyfriend or yung girlfriend, right? Um, we have this thinking na, yes, we're still in a relationship, pero yung isa pala, iba na yung iniisip. More of like, we're out of sight, out of mind. You have to determine and you have to be honest with yourself and your partner on what you really want to do. 'Di ba? Hindi pwedeng isa lang pala yung may gusto ng relationship. So that's number one. Establish that there really is a relationship. Number two, communicate, communicate, communicate. And there's no way for me to stress this more. Kasi communication is key to any relationship. So like with me, when we knew that my husband was going to get transferred to a different assignment location, he made a commitment to me on the number of times that he would call me in a day and like what are those times. And thank God that he was able to do it naman. Wala naman naging problema. And at the same time, he would allow me to like, or he would take my calls whenever I would like to speak to him. Pero syempre, of course, pag hindi siya busy. So, yon. Also, for me, in terms of communication, like if you have a fight, kunyari nagkakagulo kayo, may misunderstanding, wag ka nang wag na tayo wag na tayo mag-inarte. Let's make sure that before the end of the day, maayos and mapag-usapan natin. Now, if yung partner natin or tayo is sobrang galit talaga, let's tell them or let's establish a rule na parang, okay, pag galit ako, just let like a couple of hours pass and then pag-usapan natin. And you have to do your end. Siyempre, kung ikaw, wag ka mangulit ng mangulit kasi nga alam mo na may rule na kayo na ganun. And at the same time, ikaw naman nagalit, kailangan, like, talagang pag after ng 3 hours or so, kakausapin mo na yung tao. But my suggestion is, don't ever sleep on a misunderstanding or try not to sleep with bad feelings towards each other. Third one would be understanding. Okay, so most of the time, our partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, they would, or husbands and wives, they would, transfer to a different location, mainly because of work, right? Mainly it's to provide better for the family, or for your family, or for their families. So we have to have like a lot of understanding. Number one, for the thing that they're doing and their profession. We need to make sure that we understand those. Like with me, again, I will make myself as an example. Um, Kasi nga I'm married to like a workaholic, right? So um, and I understand that na priority talaga pag nandun siya sa assignment location niya is his job. And I get that. There are times that I would have to put aside, of course, yung mga kaartihan ko sa buhay, like my dramas in life, just so he could do his job. Or he would be in a situation where he's comfortable doing his job. Um, you have to sometimes set aside your how do I say this? Your feelings, just to make sure that they are able to do what they need to do in the place where they are at. And also, like, for those who are, far naman, or those who left naman and decided to like work abroad, you would also have to have understanding na, of course, you left somebody, and that somebody is, expecting you to still have time for them. So, have a compromise. Next one would be trust. Big word yan. As in yan, no? Laki, di ba? Big word. No. Trust is very important. Why? Because for me, there's no reason to be in a relationship with a person that you don't trust, right? So, to me, you have to give people the trust that they deserve until, of course, they mess it up themselves. Why am I saying this? Because if we don't trust the person, you know, it will not work out. Pwedeng may ginagawa sila, or pwedeng wala rin silang ginagawa, but because of lack of trust, you will end up fighting. Believe me, I have had that experience. So, it will not work. And for those that we give our trust to naman, of course, in return, you have to make sure that you are worthy of that trust, and you are doing things to make sure that you don't lose the trust of your partner. So again, I would stress that if you, deep inside of you, if you feel that you cannot trust the person, really, there's no point in having a relationship. Number 5, and this is, like, I would say, the most difficult. It's controlling our own insecurities. Girl, pag insecure ka, or boy, pag insecure ka, wag na kayong mag-long distance relationship, please lang. Why? Kasi sometimes, sa sobrang ka-insecure natin, or like we really don't want to lose that person, di ba? Tendency is, mag-iisip tayo ng kung ano-ano, we're gonna like think bad thoughts, or we would like think they're doing something wrong even when they're not. So you have to have that balance. You need to like figure out, like, is this a hunch or is this an insecurity? You have to have that balance. Otherwise, things are gonna fall apart. Because like if you're too insecure, you're gonna end up fighting every day lang. I mean, I personally went through it, and my coworkers saw it, and even like an old boss of mine saw me when I was in that kind of relationship, and it was toxic. It was so toxic. It was so bad to the point that I would go to work and I'm already crying simply because the person didn't trust me. So, didn't trust me, and he's like insecure also. So, it was so difficult for me. And in any relationship naman, in any like love relationship, if you're like too insecure, really tendency is like it will all get ruined. At the same time, you know, you have to, how do I say this? You have to communicate that insecurity with your partner, and the partner, whoever is receiving the message, should also like, you know, find ways to assure the other person that, you know, your relationship is safe. And lastly, it is looking forward to having a positive ending. So, okay, this is also a bit difficult, especially when you're in a long distance relationship because you can't see nga the person frequently. But to me, I had, I had faith that this is, I really want to make this relationship work. And I really wanted to end in marriage, which it did. And I think my husband was the same. Syempre, no, hindi naman kami mag-end up kung ako lang yung nag-iisip ng ganun. So, I think it helped in the sense that, it made me work hard for the relationship. Um, Not necessarily nahihirapan ako dun sa relationship, but it just made me work hard on being a better person, on being a better partner, so that we will end up in that situation. And my husband is the same. Um, you have to, I guess you have to know what you want to be in the end, or how you want the relationship to be in the end. So, with all that being said, I actually prepared a clip with my husband where I am like discussing with him things that, or questions that are normally asked from um, people or couples who have been, how do I say this, continuously trying to make their long distance relationship work. Here it is, and I hope you enjoy it and learn from it. Thank you. Hi, love.
Hi, Juanito.
I'm sorry for calling you. It's just that, as you know, your woman is making her YouTube video, and it's all about long distance relationships. So I have here like 20 questions, and these are like questions that like people would normally ask couples who are in a long distance relationship. Can you hear me?
Yep, sure can.
All right, cool. All right, so the first one is, how long have we been together?
That's a question for me.
Yeah.
9 years.
All right. And is this your first long distance relationship? Like, are we your first long distance relationship? And you have to be honest.
No.
Okay. And what made you want to be in a long distance relationship with me?
Well, because we're together, and we have to live apart right now because of circumstances. And so we got to make it work.
Okay. And did you have doubts when you first started your long distance relationship?
No, I have no doubts at all about it. It's what we signed up for. It's the nature of what we do for a living, what I have to do for work and what you have to do for family.
Okay. How about the first long distance relationship you had? Did you have doubts?
Well, no long distance relationship is easy. Every long distance relationship has its issues, has its ups and downs, and if you want to make it work, long distance relationships will work.
Okay. So what made you trust me and go ahead with it? Because like you said, not all long distance relationships are easy. So what made you trust me with your heart? No. What made you trust me and made you like say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and have a long distance relationship with this crazy girl?
Well, it's what we signed up for, right? It's what we agreed to a long time ago when we first got together. Is that we knew that eventually I was going to get reassigned and that we were going to have to live apart,
Okay.
and that we have to make it work.
How do you resolve our problems or fights?
Well, we really don't have any significant problems. relationship seems to work really well.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that, there aren't any real big issues that we have to deal with, which makes a relationship easier. You know, so we're very fortunate that that everything is everything. You know, we get along well. We don't have any major issues. There are no big conflicts that we're dealing with, and it all works. It all works okay.
Okay, just for my viewers out there, the way I would resolve, we don't, like he said, we don't really have like huge fights, but normally if we do have a disagreement, we don't sleep on it. We like resolve it and then talk about it. Not like I I stop getting pissed off or he stops getting pissed off, but we don't sleep on it and just, we try to, what's the right word, love? We try to not resolve, but we try to just get over it, I guess, huh?
Well, we try to understand each other's point of view, and we may agree to disagree, but we don't get mad and we don't have resentments. We
Mm.
just air it out, say what's on our mind, and that always helps.
Okay. So what's your communication habits? Like with me, how do you, I guess what I'm trying to ask or what I'm trying to make you say is, how do you communicate with me?
I talk.
I know, duh. You're so silly. I mean, what do you do? Do you like call me? Like, you have to explain like how many times you call me in a day.
Oh, I see.
I know it's
Well,
7 times a day, but
we try to talk in the morning, and we
first
try to talk in the
wake up.
evening, and then you pester me all day long.
No, I do not. This is really okay. Next question would be, what is your least favorite part of our long distance relationship?
Well, not being together, not being physically together every day, and not being able to reach out and hug and be together. I mean, it's the physical part of it is not fun, you
Okay.
know, and we kind of like to play off of each other, and we like to have fun.
Mhm.
And when we're not together, it's difficult because you may have things you're dealing with at home. I may have things I'm dealing with at work, and sometimes it's difficult to stay in sync. You
Mhm.
know, you can't really reach out and be there all the time for each other.
Okay. Well, I think I would like to add to that. I think it's also the time difference. Because, like, you know how sometimes I'm like ready, I want to speak with you, but it's still like you're still sleeping, or you know what I mean? Or you're still awake and we have the time to talk, and yet I'm already sleeping. So I think that's the
Yeah, time difference is a problem for sure.
Is it? No.
Well, it is. I mean, it just, and different, well, you're different work week as well, so that doesn't help,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay. How about, what's your favorite part of our long distance relationship?
Well, just getting to talk to you, getting to stay in touch, try to be as close as we can be,
Mm.
try to see each other, especially with video. Things are much easier in this day and age with video, where at least we can see each other and may not be able to reach out and touch each other, but we can certainly see each other and try to read. You know, if you're trying to read, if you're upset or frustrated or mad or some issue, at least being video, you can see the other person's face. I can see your face and tell whether everything is good or things are not so good.
So is everything good now?
Well, you're beautiful, so yeah, everything's great. You got a smile on your face, so why not? It's all good.
Okay. Oh, this is a weird question, but I guess people, this is like one of the issues that a lot of people are on a long distance relationship have to deal with. Are you ever afraid that your partner will cheat on you? That I will cheat on you?
Oh my God, is that a confession?
No,
Oh, okay. I
no,
thought maybe I thought maybe this was like truth or dare
no.
time. Okay. No, no. I'm not afraid that you'll cheat on me because I think we have a pretty solid relationship
Yes.
and that we also understand the consequences
Mhm.
of cheating.
True. Well, the same goes for me. And even if you cheat, I know who you'll come home to. No, just kidding.
Oh, there we go. All right.
No,
License to kill.
no. Okay. Are you ever afraid you'll cheat?
No, because I know what I've got, and I know I know what I've got, and know what the consequences are if I do.
Are you speaking
So,
from experience, Mikey?
huh?
Are you speaking
I take the Fifth Amendment on that.
from
I'll invoke my privileges as a U.S. citizen with the Fifth Amendment.
Okay. Do you ever get jealous? Can you like explain a situation that sparked jealousy?
Uh, Not really. I mean, we pick at each other.
Mhm.
You pick more than I do, and I can't ever some things that I just can't ever get you to stop talking about that you like to pick at me about. But maybe the only jealousy is that maybe sometimes I think you've got more freedom, more time to go do things that you like to do
Mhm.
versus maybe what I kind of tied down with work.
Mhm.
So a little bit maybe on that regard, but certainly not jealous of you being with somebody else because I know that won't happen,
Okay.
or
Uh,
it better not.
okay. Well, the like for me, of course, you know that I do get jealous, and I always communicate that with you. I've got I've got a very good looking husband, so definitely. Did you see
And
that?
you are a very good looking woman, but
Oh.
I'm not overly worried about that.
So do I make you feel loved, Mikey?
Of course, every day,
Mm.
all the time.
So what is it that I do that makes that makes you feel special even if we're not together?
Well, because you call me, you talk to me, you
I pass.
listen to me rant. Listen to me rant and rave. Sometimes I'm having a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you console me. You listen. You try to fix things, maybe when I don't need them to be fixed. But and I'll tell you that I don't want help fixing anything. I just need somebody to. I need you to listen.
Mm,
And it's just that being there when I need you.
okay. All right. So what would you consider your greatest weakness and your greatest strength when it comes to our relationship?
Oh Lord, greatest weakness and greatest strength in our
This is like a
relationship.
job interview, Michael.
Do what?
This is like a job interview. What's your greatest strength? What's your greatest weakness?
I guess greatest strength is I love you and I trust you.
Mm-hmm.
I guess greatest weakness is that greatest weakness in our relationship. Uh, just that doing this long term is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's not a very good answer, but I can't think of any weakness other than not physically being together.
Mm-hmm.
That's the greatest weakness.
Okay. Well, my greatest weakness would be fear, because like your work involves like being at site, being in construction sites, and you know how paranoid I get with like safety and um what do you call this? Just general safe like safety hazards. If that's I can't,
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain it, but it's just
I
I know
understand
what
what you're saying.
you're trying. I know that you know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yep, I understand.
Okay. And then for like strength, I think we got a very solid relationship. So I'm not bothered by anything, to be honest. Not at this point. Um, what was one defining moment in our relationship?
Defining moment.
Yes.
I don't know. What do you think our defining moment was? I got to think about this a little bit.
I think for
I
me,
guess.
it would be, remember when we had the situation back in 2012 and us getting over that and resulting to the instead of us breaking up, we were able to get through that, and we got stronger together. We got better with our relationship. I think that's what it is for me.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I just think it was. I think it's when we decided to get together
Mm-hmm.
permanently.
Yep.
I mean, that's the defining moment when we made that decision.
Didn't you make that decision when you first saw me?
Of course, baby.
What would you change any aspect of our relationship?
I'm
Other
sorry. Say again.
Would you change any aspect of our relationship? Other than the distance, of course. What else would you change?
Um, Maybe your incessant picking at me about past things that you just won't let go of.
Okay. Next.
And what about you?
Um, Other than the distance, none really, babe. I I, I wouldn't I wouldn't call us perfect, but it's just I think I think because we started out as friends, best friends, and it's just things are going too smoothly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they seem to be okay. Yes, no rough patches recently, which is good.
I just it's I do think that we're in a better situation relationship wise to others who are in the same setup, like in the same long distance relationship, because we get to communicate regularly and we know each other so well.
Okay, fair
Um,
point.
so what about long distance is easier or harder than you expected?
Well, harder right now is because of COVID-19. Can't travel any place. Can't be together. We were fortunate we were able to be together in the end of February, and I know a lot of people that had travel plans in March that have been stood down because of it. So right now, the biggest issue is not being able to travel, not being able to get together and see each other or be with each other. So that's the most difficult part right now, and not knowing when that gets resolved and when travel will be allowed, and just being able to plan. So that's the hardest problem right now.
I think, what about long distance is easier or harder than you expected? I didn't. Okay. I thought long distance relationship was a lot of work, or there would be a lot of, how do I say this, drama. But I feel like we didn't have that much drama, even when we were starting with this long distance relationship. Like
Well, yeah, because
it's like,
you're with the perfect partner. So I mean, what more could you want?
oh wow,
Yeah.
I love you, Michael.
So the easiest part is with video, with video being able to see and talk to each other on a regular basis is what makes it easier.
Mm-hmm. Um, do you have any regrets about having a long distance relationship?
No. I mean, it's,
Well, not just with me, like even your past long distance relationship. Do you have any regrets?
well, I've grown up a lot. I've matured a lot from previous long distance relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when we got together, we knew we were going to end up in a long distance relationship. So this isn't like something that was sudden because, you know, something changed and we didn't have any choice. So we knew this was a choice. We knew it was going to be a lifestyle choice. And, you know, I think we were prepared for it mentally and spiritually, emotionally, and all that kind of good stuff.
Okay.
That we were prepared to because we knew what was coming. We knew what we had to go do.
Yeah, true. Um, what is one piece of advice? No, make it three. What's three things that you would advise or would tell someone about long distance relationships?
Be honest and be truthful in
That's
what you're doing. Communicate as frequently as possible,
one. Mm-hmm.
and trust your partner.
Okay, I see. With me, it would be first define the relationship. If it's a real relationship or it's, what do you call that? Like you're in a relationship when you're together, but when you're not, out of sight, out of mind there. Or it's that type of relationship. So that's one. Second, I think is you have to also learn how to control your insecurity. So
That's a good point.
yeah, and then I think the third one would be you have to communicate with your partner
Absolutely,
on a regular basis.
absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me. Really, it's really, it gives a different perspective, you know, when you're like talking to the guy versus it's just the woman blabbing about the relationship.
No, that's cool. Yeah, very good. So I'm available as a guest anytime on your program. Just let me know 24/7.
I know you're always there for me. I love you.
Love you too, baby.
Bye.